As you can already see in the title of this video, you will learn how to differentiate between an English and an Italian sonnet. In the 16th century, sonnets became very popular. A sonnet is simply a poem, but a poem that has a very specific form. It consists of 14 lines, and as said before, it's called a sonnet. It started in Italy with this guy here. His name is Petrarch, and his sonnets are either called Petrarchan sonnets or Italian sonnets. They were so popular that in England they were fashionable too, and somebody called William Shakespeare, who is now known as one of the biggest English authors of all times, started to write his own type of sonnet, and they can be called Shakespearean sonnets or English sonnets. Here are two sonnets, and just by looking at them you can already see that the left one is an Italian sonnet and the right one is an English sonnet. And this is so obvious because an Italian sonnet always consists of 8 and 6 lines, that makes 14, and an English sonnet always consists of 3 times 4 and then 2 lines, which make up the 14 lines of an English sonnet. When looking at this form more closely, that is at the rhyme scheme, you will find out that the octave, the 8 lines, can be divided into 2 blocks of 4 lines, and each of these is called a quatrain. And then the 6 lines can be divided into 2 blocks of 3 lines, and each of them is called a tercet. And accordingly, the English sonnet consists of 3 quatrains, and then the last 2 lines that rhyme are called a rhyming couplet. So when looking at the rhyme scheme, you have to see which words in each verse rhyme, and we can see here that done and season, prison and occasion rhyme, which would get the letter A, and then ice and arise and wise and devise rhyme, which would therefore get the letter B. And the rhyme scheme would then be A, B, B, A, and again in the second quatrain of this octave, A, B, B, A again, and a rhyme where you have 2 rhyming words on the outside and then 2 on the inside. This is called an enclosing rhyme. So here we've got enclosing rhymes in the octave, and then in the sestet, if we look at that again, we've got plain, which doesn't rhyme with health or with any of these up here, and myself, but plain rhymes with pain, health, and death. That's rather a slant rhyme, such as myself and strife. But the rhyme scheme in the sestet is usually CDE, CDE, or something of that sort. It doesn't have to be exactly this. And the fact that it doesn't rhyme very clearly here is simply that I Find No Peace was originally a sonnet written by Petrarch in Italian and was translated by Thomas Wyatt into English, so therefore maybe the rhymes don't exactly fit, but this is the rhyme scheme you would expect in an Italian sonnet. When we look at the English sonnet, we will also find a typical rhyme scheme. So if we see here day and May rhyme, and so do temperate and date, and then we've got something that doesn't rhyme with either of these, but shines and declines and dimmed and untrimmed rhymes, and then again something new that doesn't rhyme with any of these before, but fade and shade rhymes, and so does owest and growest, and C and thee also rhymes. So that leaves us with the following rhyme scheme A, B, A, B. Then the second quatrain C, D, C, D. The third quatrain E, F, E, F. And the rhyming couplet gets the letters G, G. The rhymes in the quatrains A, B, A, B, they are called alternating rhymes, or sometimes also called crossed rhymes. In both the Italian and the English sonnet, there's one break that we can already see in the rhyme scheme. So there's some sort of regularity in the octave. Then there's a break here, and there is some sort of regularity in the quatrains here. And then we've got these rhyming lines at the bottom. And so after line 8 and after line 12, there's what we call a volta, or a turn, which you can usually see when you start analyzing the content of the turn, of the content of the sonnet. Then you will find, for example, a question in the top and an answer in the bottom after the volta, or some sort of change in tone that you can use for your analysis. So you've now looked at the form and you know the difference between the form of an English and an Italian sonnet, but remember that you haven't done your analysis yet. So in order to do that, you will have to take a look at the meter, the choice of words, the stylistic devices, and so on. So the analysis is not in this video, but I promise to make another one and analyze a Shakespearean sonnet for you. Bye bye.